Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and this is the Genessis-Models show 26th of June 2015, and we are in a brand new Hawker Hurricane and Spitfire Mark 1 week, which is rather good to have a nice new start of a nice new build and get cracking with that, which is rather good because actually we've got the new Airfix kits here that are brand new tools. We have been building through our we've been building through the new Spitfire Mark 1 by Airfix, nice new tool, as well as the just released new tool of the Hawker Hurricane by Airfix, all 1/48 scale. They're both Mark 1, so you've got like a Battle of Britain thing going on here, which is rather cool. And I do like the earth brown and the dark green camo pattern, to be honest with you, as well. But the kit I'm using for the Hawk Hurricane is the one that has the ground crew. I do go through a nice bit of inbox reviews on the ground crew and the little extras that you get with this kit over the Hawker Hurricane kit, as well as we get an inbox review of the Spitfire, which is rather similar to Hawker Hurricane, but there are some differences going on there. Now with this build, you know, we can sort of, because it's like a dual build, we can sort of do things differently, and this is what I sort of want to do. I mean, I've already started building the Hawker Hurricane cockpit, and what I'm doing with the Hawker Hurricane is I'm doing a quick, easy, basic cockpit, right? So it's you know, quick, easy spraying, building it and weathering it. But with the Spitfire, I want to do an advanced cockpit going on there, so you can sort of see the differences between basically an advanced cockpit and a quick and easy cockpit, to kind of see, you know, do you want to put all that extra time into doing an advanced cockpit, or do you want to just do a quick, easy, basic one? You can see the difference between them, and is it really worth it going all to that trouble, or just doing it nice and quickly? And so this is what I'm going to like about doing this dual build, because we do get to see differences. I also want to sort of try out some new camo techniques as well, how to do camo patterns and whatnot with this build. So I might just sort of do old technique and a new technique, which is all good. And depending on how the build progresses, might do a diorama with ground crew and all the vehicles and everything. Maybe we'll just see how we get along with this build. Now I did do the inbox review for the Spitfire here, so I thought, well, I'll just throw that in there, put it up as its own separate video as well, so you can find it separately rather than trying to find which, you know, show that we did it in. So let's take a look at our Spitfire. So here is the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1 kit, 1/48 scale by Airfix. Really nice you know, box art going on there. It does open up into a nice box rather than a, you know, where you have to sort of open it up at the side, so you can keep all your pieces. Rather nice there. So taking a look, I have already opened just to have a look at this. We'll just jump straight in with a nice bit of surface detail, very similar to the Hawker Hurricane surface detail, where we have this really nice smooth surface. All the recessed panel lines and rivets are, you know, very crisp, very consistent. We do have recessed rivets in there, not as many as you might like, you know, but it is very neat, tidy and crisp. Top of the wings as well, same sort of detail going on there, looking all rather good. And then we do have like a little bit of wheel well detail in here, not much, but you know, there's something there. You know, not looking too bad. Right then, let's move quickly along with some more of our sprues here. Right then, we have cockpit detail just here as well. That is looking, you know, rather cool, if you ask me. We've got some nice crisp detail in there. Few other little bits and bobs going on around this. We've got our propellers. You know, there's no flash on this, and there shouldn't be for something that's a nice new tool. We've got some engine cowl stuff going on here with sort of like raised bolts as well. Detail looking rather good there. Different propellers going on here as well. Ejector pin marks, we don't seem to have any in those nasty places where you don't want them to be, so that is rather good. We've got another sprue here, which we have a pilot in here as well. He's looking rather good for out of the box. Bit of cockpit detail there. We've got landing gear here, which it looks like we're going to have a choice between different landing gears, which is nice to have those options going on. And I'm not seeing any nasty ejector pin marks where you don't want to see them. Bit of cockpit detail there as well. Let's turn this over. Our wheels, to be honest, they're looking a little bit on the plain side, but maybe we could jazz them up. Seat there, not too bad for out of the box as well, so looking good so far. Then we have our fuselage section, all one piece. Right, and as you can see, same sort of surface detail that we had with the wings as well, nice and crisp. We've got raised bolts just here around the engine cowl as well. As you can see, looking rather cool, rather good. Inside we do have some sort of detail going on just at the back, but I do believe you basically build the whole cockpit as one, and then you slot it in between these two fuselage halves. So I don't think we've got to worry about any kind of ejector pin marks and stuff going on inside there. Then we have instrument display panel. Hopefully, as you can see there, looking rather good. Right, a nice bit of decals maybe in there, and that would be rather cool. We've got some more, looks like we're going to have a couple of different options here regards to the actual cockpit area. But as you can see, detail in there is already looking good. We're going to be gluing bits and bobs on there. You know, we're going to end up with quite a cool cockpit. And then we've got all our sort of flaps and tail bits and rear wheels just there as well. Yeah, looking all rather good. And then we move along. Let's get my blade out, and we've got quite a few options on the side of canopies. Right, so as you can see, I mean, these are looking really shiny. I mean, this actually, to be honest with you, is rather impressive, because I know Airfix, they can do these really cool kits, and they just cock it up sometimes at the end with the canopies, because they've either got cracks in there or they've got spidering cobweb effects, but these are looking really crystal clear. And as you can see, we've got all sorts of options for like open, closed, and the bubble shaped canopies and everything, so really giving us a load of options there, which is really nice to have the options. Let's bring you out. Then we have, just in here, we have the decals. Now these decals, they don't say who they're made by, but I have noticed that Airfix gets them from Cartographer, but for some reason they don't seem to let Cartographer put their name at the bottom to say they was printed by Cartographer, but they are normally really good decals from Airfix, so we shouldn't really have a problem. Micro Solon sets should sort this out rather nice. We do have decals for our instrument display panel here, which does have, you know, your dials and everything, so getting them to go onto the plastic parts shouldn't be that bad, and it should look rather good. You know, we can basically make out some of the writing going on here, the smaller print. It's in registry, it's got like a matte type finish to it as well. Colours looking good and sharp, you know, really nice decals there. Then we come to some instructions, which I'm just going to quickly just go through, just to kind of show you maybe what options and what the instructions are like. You know, Airfix, they've started taking on this nice role of, you know, they colour things out where things are going to be glued to make things a bit more clearer, and we end up with all sorts of different options, right, with this one. As you can see, we're going to build the cockpit into like its own little sort of compartment, and that little compartment is then going to be, you know, sandwiched between our two fuselage halves, which is rather cool actually. It does give you a bit more freedom when you're doing it that way. It does note that what you might need to cut out or not, depending upon how you're going to have your canopy. Moving along, you know, this kit is going to give you the options of cutting out all these different panels and everything, so as you can have all of these nice MGs on show and sort of having it in, say, a bit of a service or rearming or something like that, which is rather cool. Right, and just moving along, you know, everything else is pretty much standard. It is quite nice as well how they do really sort of go into detail, telling you, you know, what is the exact angle of the landing gear, as you can see there. That's a nice little note that they can put. And here is where you get, this is the reason why you get all those different canopies, is so that you can have canopy open, close, and the bubble shaped one and everything, which is all good. And then we have a couple of markings here, just 3 markings, which is rather cool as well. We've got our yellow nose there, and we've got the half black and white underside one as well. So, you know, not bad on the markings. So all in all, this looks like a cracking kit. It looks good quality, nice new tool, great decals, the canopies, they're finally, you know, getting that canopy thing right. So yeah, definitely a well recommended build. Hope you enjoyed that little inbox review there, and I hope you're going to enjoy episode 1, which is up on YouTube as a freebie, just to kind of introduce you to that new group build. Now, getting back to some news, last week I did mention about extending the World War II bomber group build by a month because we hadn't had that many people finish. Great feedback from you guys. I really took it all in, and you know, really, thankfully, you guys have actually started to finish your builds. So we now have more people who have finished than we do prizes, because we've got 4 prizes to give away, which I do believe was like Top Gun, second, third, and most original. So, you know, now we've got more people than prizes. You know, I don't see any reason to sort of extend the group build by another month. You know, I think we're all good to judge away. Now you've still got a bit more time, and you know, you can still get your models finished, so you know, try and get them finished. But if you don't, you know, carry on building them, carry on showing us, because it really is enjoyable to see how you guys get on in building your build. So I hope you continue or get it finished before the 2nd of July. But again, thanks for all the feedback on that. It really does help. So quick recap on the dates. I'm just going to quickly go through it. We've got what is it, the 3rd of July is we're going to be announcing the competition winner for our Hawker Hurricane 148 scale by Airfix. Right, so get in there to be in there to win it. We're going to be announcing the new competition for, what was it, July on the 10th. On the 17th, I'm going to be announcing the World War II group build, bomber group build winner, and all the winners, and hopefully have the trophy up and everything like that. So that will be rather good. Next group build will be announced on the 24th. Now you guys are doing loads of nice group build proposals and voting on them. There's still plenty of time to propose more, vote on them, and just let us know what group build you guys want to do. But just to let you know, at the moment we have carrier aircraft who are winning, which is basically anything to do, any aircraft that had to do with carriers you can build, any scale, any manufacturer, which does sound rather good. You also have just behind carrier aircraft is a sci-fi build with sort of like scratch build in, which also looks quite interesting. As I say, it is just behind our carrier aircraft group build. Coming in 3rd is a Vietnam group build, which does sound quite interesting. Nice topic there. And then coming in at 4th is tanks. It just says tanks, so that I'm assuming is anything at all to do with tanks, which could be any war, any era, even Sci-Fi, any scale, any manufacturer. But yeah, as I say, you know, there's still time for you guys to get your votes in by the 24th of July, which I will then announce. And then the following week after that, which is the 31st of July, that is when the group build will start. Whatever group build you pick will start on the 31st. So hopefully those are the dates for you for your diary for July to look out for. Next week I am going to be continuing with our F-15 Eagle, which is coming along rather nicely. We're really starting to get it together now. Next week, you know, it looks like we're going to be hitting a load of sanding, because we've got loads of stuff to sand, all our seam lines here, there, and then everywhere. And really, I mean, it is just like getting our landing gear pieces and flaps and tails stuck on, and really we're probably going to be going into the spray stage, fingers crossed. And I do sort of want to really sort of touch on spraying with this one, just to sort of help you new guys with, you know, basics, and maybe going into a intermediate and advanced stuff as well. So yeah, I do want to sort of concentrate on spraying with this one, which hopefully you will like. So that's coming up for next week, so I hope you'll be looking forward to that. Sadly, we've come to the end of the show, but you know what, I'm going to show you all your fantastic work you guys have been doing on the forum, and you know, hopefully you guys are going to keep up with the group build, the World War II bomber group build, and get more stuff finished, because I've just had a look at some of your work and it really is looking fantastic, and it's going to be really hard for me to judge, which is kind of why I did the whole everyone gets a patch thing, because really you are all winners, whoever finishes those group builds, because your work really is top notch. So until next time, my name is Bobby Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.